That's all I have to say. Mayor Farrow, CEO of JP Morgan's Project Us.Thankx, just said something that will blow your mind. I'm about to show you something very strange. I have already talked about this problem in a similar way, but I'd like to draw your attention to it. Once again, the project has really started. You may remember that he was depressed in October 2020. At the same time, you all know Mr. Tyrone Lin, who was in charge of Project Onyx. He worked to show how important this data was at the same time that this group was formed. This is something I've already talked about. In the past, JP Morgan used Ripple as a short-term fix to put off building their own database. But their effort to do so in 2024 failed because they announced it in October 2020, which was a few months too late. The CC did follow Ripple, it just so happened. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Press the like button. I'm sorry that some of you think this is a plot, but it's not. Because of this, Risen XRP is one of the most strictly regulated companies right now as the cryptocurrency market goes through a bull market. Get ready for a really cool ride. The day after the Bitcoin ETF was approved, CNBC put out a statement. Why did they bring it up now after the BTC ETF was approved? They said that. To show what they meant, let me use the Bank of Mitsubishi in Tokyo as an example. They need to send 100 million yen to the New York branch and then change it to dollars. They need 100 million yen in Tokyo and $100 million in the bank will give you half of its capital back if you can do that at the same time. It looks like we will soon solve that important problem, even though we haven't done it yet. In fact, JP Morgan thinks that XRP and Ripple will be very important. If you look at the general population, Mr. Umar has said in public that he believes this. If you look at the public blockchain ledgers, they aren't right for today's big transactions, and I'll explain why. Dante and I may not agree on this. Since we were supposed to be giving $100 million as part of a $100 million deal, let's say UBS and I were just making it up. You already know that the two banks are using Ethereum to send $100 million to UBS. It looks like validators are checking the transaction. If something goes wrong, who should I sue? You can trust code a lot, but you can't really have a conversation in a place like a code court. Now, maybe public infrastructure will get there one day with things like IDs that can be checked, but that time is still a long way off. Someone needs to find a place where people can do business in a safe and secure way. Financial institutions have to follow a set of rules for being accountable. We still need to find out if this is done with unified ledgers or some other way. The unified ledgers bridge, but to be honest, they're all trying to do this. To be honest, we have another job going on. You are what Global Air One at the mosque, Citibank, and other companies are all about. You should be able to use some kind of regulated financial system. Banks and other commercial companies should be able to get in. This means you should be able to use a financial infrastructure that is regulated, and both private and state institutions like banks should be able to use the same infrastructure. The fast and wide use of a global stablecoin, which might only be controlled by the incentives of a private company, will lead to the highest regulatory standards. This will also apply to businesses that aren't banks. I really do. Money should be able to move freely through the foreign layer. If not, you will just do that. Always think in terms of silos. Plus, there are local tokens in all of these silos, but that's a whole other problem that I won't even touch on. It's interesting how he talks about the uniform ledger, the bridge, and RLN, and there's a lot of evidence that the ideas still need to be worked out. With a lot of NDAs and put behind the scenes, Ripple is an important part of this. Ripple does have a base in this, that much is clear. Did you catch the part where he talked about the foundation for finance? Ripple refers to the infrastructure of the business world. A lot of people know that this information comes from the BIS Innovation Hub and the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure. Ripple is also a controlled market infrastructure. Basically, both of these groups stress the need for a regulated financial system that everyone can use, including private banks and state institutions like central banks. A worldwide stablecoin that could be used by many people quickly will have the strictest rules. The same goes for a global currency that is only controlled by a private company. They want the value of the token to go up. How did he say it? People should stop thinking about the price of XRP as soon as they know what's going on behind the scenes. Some people think this whole thing is a conspiracy because there isn't any public information from trustworthy news sources who won't say what they're doing. Believe as hard as you can that Ripple and his virtual currency XRP will be very valuable. If you remember the reasons I've already talked about for why it can't be ridiculously cheap, you should know that a high price is needed for growth. If you want to buy something bigger, you should pay attention to what Umar says and let them know that I agree. The only thing I would add is that I think they need to become real public goods in order to be seen as such. Also, our involvement with technology isn't just because we were early adopters. It's also because the owner of the technology has come back to the top. Going back to the token issue, ABC is my coin on my blockchain. The idea of Tokenomics is interesting, and I really want everyone to join my blockchain because that's how my token gains value. I think that the basics of tokenomics also make integration very hard. After all, someone had to know who you were. I hope it would be okay for us to come to one of their secret meetings. Feel free to share your ideas in the space below, where you can also read what he has to say. They want the value of their token to go up, and I really want everyone to join my blockchain because that's how the value of my token goes up. I know that XRP hasn't seen anything yet, but we've already talked about this. BTC went from $1 to $73,000, which you already know. Ethereum went from being worth 31 cents to being worth $5,000. The price of XRP will stay the same. I'm not bragging when I say that it's the best digital product in the world right now, up to 100%. It's not the same as Ethereum because I own more than just Bitcoin with XRP. They have built a reliable network over the past 10 years that has kept the XRP ledger running without any major problems. They are going to make the system work for billions of people soon, and then for trillions. The tech wasn't very good to me, but remember that when it's ready to use, this is something we've never seen before. You know how great it is that we live in a time when new technologies, rules, and safeguards are being put in place for banking infrastructure. Is it true that blockchain will be very important? There is a new movement going on. Those who don't take advantage of the chance will finally evolve. In the end, you do deserve to be where you are. People who are paying attention are what I mean. Since you're all ahead, let's just talk for them, shall we? Imagine being honest with the people you talk to and then saying, "Oh, I don't understand. Crypto, okay, I get it, you don't get it. Attempt to understand, you stupid person, you are completely right. This is just one of those things that I can't quite describe. Yes, it's stupid, brainwashed, dangerous, and built on fear. Fear is what makes people change. That's all there is to it." Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you who have listened. Hey everyone, please tell me what you think in the area below.